Yes, we would like to go live, please.
Yes,
We're
we are.
live. We're
Hey,
live,
hey,
Joe. Hey,
hey.
well, 8 minutes late, but technical issues. Let's see if AT&T stays connected for me for the next, hour, 45 minutes. How are you, sir? We're back.
It's good, man. Good. 2022.
Hello. What's going on in 2022?
I don't know. Hopefully, we all make a lot of money. Um, hopefully, with good health, all of that, the usual
Yeah.
stuff.
Are you on VPN?
No, I'm off, buddy. It's all you. We're just enjoying
Fucking, it's fucking unbelievable.
the top tier tech suite over there from at Apple Fanboy Club.
Oh,
You got
fucking
you got
AT&T.
now you got Tetris going on one hand. You got
You know,
pixel art porn on the
1,000
other.
gigabyte connection. Swear to God, in my neighborhood, right? Everybody in the neighborhood has the fiber, and it is the most inconsistent performance on the planet. It's just I might as well be in fucking rural Georgia again.
Well, it's better here. You definitely do better in you know South Florida than you do in South
I don't know.
Georgia.
I don't know, man. I'm not sure about that right now. I'm fucking annoyed. I
Yeah,
just rebooted the router, rebooted the computer, blah 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 blah. Anyway, so what'd you do for the holidays, dude?
I was up in the DC area for a little over a week. It was just cold and cloudy the whole time. Like in the 40s and kind of drizzly and then cloudy.
Yeah,
So I was like, man, I don't really enjoy it. At that type of weather and everything. When you know, right now I got all the windows open down here. I think it's about 70 degrees outside.
yeah. No, it was
So
beautiful. Last night it was like 63 degrees. Had to take my daughter for a COVID test at the 24/7 COVID facility here because my buddy went during the day yesterday and waited in line for 6 hours to get his daughters tested. Six
wow,
hours. 6 frigging hours. And you know why? Because the state of Florida provides zero funds, facilities, or anything else for COVID testing. Because
how
our
come?
governor our
Oh yeah,
governor doesn't want the number to go up. No
oh yeah,
test, no numbers, right? And he's one of the only ones in the whole country, even among Republicans, that doesn't provide testing.
yeah. I mean, I think the numbers we only care about now is hospitalization and deaths because it
Right.
seems like everybody's it's just gonna rip through everybody at this point.
Well, I
Um,
have some comments on that as well. My mother-in-law was in the hospital the other night with a little
that's
bit of
right.
a hip injury, and I was going to go in and see how she was doing because she went in an ambulance because she couldn't move. And as I passed the lobby, I swear to God, wall to wall, COVID people in the COVID waiting room, like at Baptist Hospital, like packed,
Wow.
dude. Like everybody, blankets, masks, everybody looking miserable. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going
Checking
in
on
there.
this. Yeah. Good luck.
I'm gonna send Joan a text.
Yeah.
Joan, hey, we're out here in the car and
Looking
hope you're
good.
doing hope you're doing all right.
It's great outside right now. Best of luck. Looks like you got this under control.
I'm not a heartless beast. She actually was like, "Look, just stay out. I don't want you in here. This is stupid." So, but thankfully they segregate non-COVID from COVID. So, you know, hopefully she didn't get it while she was in there because she's 80 and that's not a good thing. So,
No, yeah.
and it's
I
like
was
running rampant through my kids' schools right now. Like I don't even know why they're holding school because half the schools like out with COVID.
yeah, no, my daughter's at school. I did see some stats though, I think today somewhere that it's of everybody getting sick, a huge percentage is in the under 12. category.
Yep.
But even in like the 12 to 18, I think only a third of the people are fully vaccinated.
Yeah.
So getting those numbers up too, but most of it seems to be ripping through the kids.
Yeah.
And then going to grandparents or wherever.
Well, and that's kind of one of the things that was part of the consideration with schools was not that the kids are going to die from it, most of them, but that the kids are going to spread it. So
kill their
anyway,
grandparents. Yeah.
But
so anyway, so it'll go.
But I don't think it's having a market impact right now, really. I mean, I think everything's just kind of like, it's funny. We got home and my daughter and my wife and I all kind of said, I feel like I'm in a funk. And I was like, well, when you're away from the house for a week or two, and then you get back to the house, everything feels a little foreign, a little strange. And I thought that was it. But I think there's just like this kind of, everyone's kind of holding their breath, and I think that's happening in the markets too. I think everyone's kind of like, okay, what's next? And nobody's doing anything. So nothing's going to happen. But at the moment, things like Ohm are probably at a good bottom right now, I think. And, I stacked up a little more over the last few days. And so I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm hopeful we do a little up from here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see how. I mean, if it was going to go down extremely, it would have already done it.
I would think so.
Kind of my read with all the excuses that you could use for last week and the week before.
Yeah.
But what I'm waiting on myself is just, fresh powder, new money coming in.
Yeah.
And I think that has to happen next.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of uncertainty. I think that, we don't know how much disposable income there is out there for this. And, is there new money to come in or is it already all in? I think that's the stuff we don't really know yet. But I don't see anything that nothing worries me more than it was worrying me 2 weeks ago.
No,
2 months ago.
I will tell you, I told you about that app that I was kind of advising those guys. Like they're gonna sell out their, they're gonna sell 3 million in tokens inside of like a week. Like there's like no shortage of cash sitting waiting to come into deals. So
sorry, which one was this?
That was the exercise app. The guys that have the app experience. Anyway, they're that's the ones that I connected through the guys through Yunt and blah blah blah. Anyway, they from what I got a message from them yesterday saying that they've got all these investors lined up. So the good news is new projects and new deals are getting funding. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk to you. I have to talk to you offline. Doki got some news.
Good.
Looks good. Things are happening.
Yeah, we wouldn't want to accidentally leak that.
Ray is killing it. Permissionless is coming, and there's some other good shit coming.
I saw that in one of my chats, and I was kind of watching it over the last week just to see what.
I've seen it in action, my friend.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I had a call this morning, and I'm very excited for what a permissionless. Essentially, he's branding this thing now as a protocol, right? Mm-hmm. And so the idea is that anybody that wants to create a machine can create a machine, right? So you got these undervalued tokens for a project that has a strong community, has a strong track record, strong team, and now they're releasing their protocol permissionless, so anyone can create a gachapon machine, right? So you start with DeFi projects. So we're going to have some conversations with some folks I know in the DeFi space that have expressed interest in the past when we've talked to them about it. They'll be able to spin up in 10 minutes. You can spin up an NFT distribution, randomized NFT distribution system in 10 minutes, right? And have it be your machine. And you can put anything you want in it. So start with DeFi protocol, let them reward their investors, their community, people who are doing hard work, give them tokens to do it, whatever, encourage people to spend tokens or burn tokens, however you want to structure it, you can. And, Doki's getting a small cut of it, but they will be the least expensive marketplace for NFTs in the world when they launch this system. But at the same time, they're going from being a place where they're curating just curated machines to actually a marketplace, right?
Yeah.
Now dokidoki.com becomes a marketplace of everyone's NFT machines. And like we said before, it is the most fair way to distribute NFTs, right? It provides a much faster ramp up for income for artists and creators and whomever. But so you start there with the DeFi projects, then you hit the gaming market, right? So now, because there's going to be permissionless, you can integrate this into your game. So your players can actually get randomized NFTs within the game, right? And then beyond that, you can, let's say you're a collector, right? Or you're one of these DAOs that's been collecting NFTs. You want to charge $10,000 a spin on the Gachapon machine because you've loaded up 10 Bored Apes and 5 CryptoPunks and some other hashed ones and blah, blah, blah. And you've got this amazing collection. And there's also some less amazing stuff in there. Now people can come in and really like spin the wheel, man, and have potential. So there's all kinds of potential for this protocol. I'm really excited about what Ray and the team have done. What I'm really excited about is that they've just been grinding it out. You know, they dealt with the yield farm crash. They dealt with all the bullshit, and the NFT drops, and they've just keep grinding and grinding and grinding and grinding and developing. And now they're ready to go for the next phase of their life. So very excited. I'm excited about what they're doing. I think it's going to be a really good play. I'm excited to help them out with some of that shit. So,
well, yeah, I think it's something where, look, the constraint there was curating machines.
Yep.
And doing all of that with the limited amount of labor there on site. Once you take that constraint out of the process, now it's, multiple rev channels all coming in, none requiring, one of only a few people to approve everything. Now it just goes. So now it scales.
Exactly.
I think that's what everybody wanted it to get to. So
no, I'm very excited, and I think that project's going to do well. And I think because they're treating it as a protocol, that it can be cross-chain, that it can do all kinds of really cool shit to integrate across all kinds of projects, not just in DeFi and NFTs, but then in the collectibles, in the merch world, in the influencer world of people that aren't DeFi or NFT people, right? Now you give them a channel that makes it fair for their followers. It's on Polygon, so there's no climate issues, right? And so I just think there's a ton of opportunity for them to really excel and do great. Now it's going to be a biz dev play, right? Now it's like, okay, let's get the word out, marketing, PR, and then let's go out and bring in partners and get them set up and rolling out their machines, because now we make it easy. So
I'm surprised you haven't gotten something going with the Phantom guys.
That was part of the discussion this morning. So we're looking at doing that, and Phantom really wants to get gaming and NFT more on the space. So they have a separate fund for that and all kinds of good stuff. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, no, because that'd be key. Because matching, I saw just something today on NFTs. Somebody raised a bunch of money. Was it? No, that's Dot Finance migrating to Moonbeam. But I saw something. A big Series A, NFT Series A. Let's see. I think it's here. NFT focused holding company raises 50 million Series A.
Oh, who's that?
Digital asset curator Metaversal announced Tuesday it's completed a $50 million funding round. In the metaverse and NFT. So it looks like these guys must be raising money to fund stuff. Yeah, a lot of good other investors. But yeah, I was thinking that, we really haven't been talking about NFTs much lately in the last couple of months. At least I haven't.
No, me neither.
I think they're primed for a comeback. That's the next kind of big move space. Because if you look at all these other like layer ones have been moving nicely. But now what's, that whole piece about staking NFTs to borrow against, to go generate yield or do other things with, that hasn't quite happened yet.
No.
And so to me, I think you have to get more activity going in the secondary market first.
Yep.
Before you can actually have effective appraisal vehicles for the lending part. So I think that's where I think we're going to see some retail interest in NFT again. And different excitement there. Maybe that could be the next thing that happens.
Yeah, no, I think there's a chance for another run up. And here's the thing. I think, like, look, again, I'm going to go back to Doki because I think their competitive advantage coming out of the hype cycles is this. You went in and I just saw, oh my God, where was this? This guy, there's a guy that tweeted this, and it may be total bullshit, but this guy who has he's a Bored Ape Yacht Club holder, right? He tweeted that he just turned down a $452,000 offer for his Bored Ape number, whatever the fuck it is, right? While he's drinking a $10 bottle of wine, sitting with his wife and his dog in his, $1,500 a month apartment. And I'm like, okay, I'm a big believer in people having conviction and believing in what they can do. But you know what you could do with $452,000 in DeFi relative to waiting and seeing if your fucking Bored Ape is going to actually increase in value or dump in the next NFT cycle? I just don't get it. Like, I love believing in projects. I believe in what Olympus DAO is doing. I love Doki's doing. I love a bunch of other projects that I'm a big fan of. But dude, seriously, somebody offers you almost $500,000 fucking dollars for your NFT. Go take the 452, turn it into 1.5 million, go back and buy your NFT back later when the market drops down, and you'll still have your Bored Ape and you'll still have $1 million in your pocket. It's just like, I get it, but I don't get it, right? It's like ego. I have a Bored Ape is more important than I'm living a lower to middle class life. I have $452,000 in my pocket right here in my grasp, and I turn it down when I could turn that into more and as many Bored Apes as I want later on. So for me, it's just frustrating. I don't understand it.
I think it's the same reason why they won't convert it at this point. Is the same driver that they're scared.
Yeah.
They're going to miss something, and it's easier just to do nothing than to do something. When you look at I was just reading an article, what was it? Maybe it was a Harvard Business Review thing or something just this morning talking about that, about decision paralysis and how people don't know how to make a decision. Mm-hmm. They get too stalled out on making it when they say a lot of times the trick is to make any decision,
right?
Even if it's the wrong decision, that you're going to cycle back to the correct one eventually. So it's just about making decisions. And I think
doing it.
Yeah. I think they're already with, Bored Ape Yacht Club or whatever. They're already sitting there going, heck, how did I turn this nothing into $452,000?
Right.
And they're afraid they're going to somehow F it up at this point. And so, like you said, it's easy to just sit there and go, "Oh, I got 452,000." Well, yeah, go turn it into 452,000.
Exactly.
And let's see how fun that is. Because then you get all the other things going, which is, oh shit, what if it goes to 500?
Yeah.
While I'm doing this.
Yeah, but it's it's the opportunity cost, right?
Yeah.
450,000 in DeFi, right? Take 50 grand, 100 grand, put it in Olympus DAO and let it sit for a year, or put it in Redacted, or put it in whatever, some Bitcoin and Ethereum. Look at what that's going to be in a year or 2 years relative to what can you count on with your Bored Ape? Is your Bored Ape going to be $1.5 million each in 2 years?
Know.
Possibly. I'm not counting on that shit. So, it frustrates me.
So would Bored Ape triple in the next 2 years? Well, do you think Bitcoin is going to triple in the next 2 years?
No, but I know that Bitcoin has a good likelihood of being up 40, 50% in the next 2 years. And I don't know that Bored Ape has the likelihood of being 40 to 50% in the next 2 years. If that's all I did with that money, that's not what I would do with that money. But if that's all you wanted to do, you want to do something that's relatively safe. This is not financial advice. Relatively safe for 10 years, best performing asset in the entire world, Bitcoin, right? So relatively safe, take $452,000 and turn it into $600,000, $650,000, whatever you can do from a relatively conservative, safe perspective. I, on the other hand, would put it into a mix of DeFi projects and move it around a bit and do what we do all day, right? And make it into much more. But my point is that do you think you're going to double or triple? Are you going to gain 50% in 2 years on your Bored Ape? What are the market dynamics that lead you to believe logically and analytically that Bored Ape is going to gain 50%? Okay, for the last year, it went up 10,000x. Do you think it's going to keep that trajectory going? Maybe so. Maybe all of TradFi jumps in. Everybody wants a fucking Bored Ape because they want to flex the Bored Ape. Or is there a possibility that the next Bored Ape comes along and it's the Bored Chimp, right? And guess what? The Bored Ape is no longer flex. So then what happens to your 452,000? So that's kind of my point. It's like, at least this also speaks to what's happening in DeFi right now, right? We've spent years just investing in rocket ships. But let's hope this is going to the moon. Let's hope that's going to the moon. Now we're not anymore. Now we're investing in fundamentals. We're saying, look at the team at Olympus DAO. Look at what they are doing. Look at the team at Phantom. Look at what they're doing. Look what's happening with TVL. Look what's happening with volumes. Look at Avalanche. What kind of projects are coming onto that project? Look at Metis. I mean, we're actually now looking at more fundamentals, right? I would much rather be doing that or even aping into crazy yield farms than sitting on a Bored Ape NFT and hoping it goes. But that's just me.
Wow, man. We get a different Brad every day. Now we get Brad of like, I don't understand. How could there be any value here?
No, I think there's absolute value in NFTs, but how much more can you get out of a fucking Bored Ape flex? I mean, it's an ego thing. This is not a work of art that I'm going, oh my God, I got to, in 100 years, people are going to be framing this digital art on their wall, right? I mean, it's very unlikely. Maybe it's a historic artifact, in the Congressional Library. I don't know, but there's much better to bet on, in my own personal opinion. I love NFTs. I think there are some that will appreciate in value. I think there are some, because they are great art, will appreciate in value, and that's probably where NFTs are going. I think there will still be flex. There will still be ego. There will be what we talked about a couple of weeks ago, fashion, right? Your identity, your brand. And that's going to be probably the next level of kind of NFT growth. I'm just, it's hard for me to sit there and think somebody just handed you $450,000 and you turned it fucking down when you could do more with that money, wait for an ape dump and buy them up cheap later. To me, I don't get it.
Well, no, but it's all what we always talk about. It's taking profits on the way up.
Yeah.
Setting exit numbers. I mean, whatever this person got in at, I don't know.
Who knows? Even if he got in at $10, I don't know.
Yeah, but I would have been sold a long time before that if I got in at $10. I would.
Well, and that would be, obviously his belief has paid off in value. That's a good thing. But how long do you ride that?
Yeah, I don't know. I think, the smart, I mean, I remember, there's always this stories out there where somebody worked at a company for a long time, 20 odd years, has a whole bunch of stock in that company, and they go to another company or whatever, another public company, and the financial advisor tells them first thing I got to do is diversify out of all the other shit they have. And so then they go sell a lot of it, and then the stock price doubles. And so then they're all pissed off because they get, they left all that money on the table.
Of course.
But, you never hear the story about the stock price got cut in half.
Exactly. Which is more than likely the case.
Yeah. You only hear about, it doubled.
Yeah.
After I sold. So, it's kind of like we look at the S&P 500 chart, and there was like the book value, and there was the discounted cash flow value, and then there was the speculative value.
Yeah.
And how much of that was the speculative value, which means I don't fucking know, is what it means, basically. And I think in NFTs and stuff, you have a lot of I don't friggin' know in there.
Yeah.
Just like you do in, other art. whether it was the Impressionists and Expressionists and the, whenever 1870s Paris, where everybody's just trashing it, or I think I was streaming some Mad Men the other day, and, one of those guys, Cooper, bought a Rothko for like 10 grand, and, those are worth obviously a shitload more than that now. But, you either have to buy the art because you like it, or you buy the art because you think it's an investment.
Yeah.
And, I don't think anybody that has a Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT at this point could remotely consider themselves a art collector at this point.
Yeah, and that's not even being snobby.
No.
I'm not an art collector. You know a shitload more about art and collecting than I ever will. But I do know that Bored Apes are not a priceless work of art. They're cool. They're funny. They're interesting. They're entertaining. There's a great backstory. They've done a brilliant job of building a community. And look, here's the one value that I may not be taking into account, that they have leveraged the community around it into being an elite group of people who network together. So it gives you access. It's like having gone to Stanford Business School and that your classmates are going to be able to provide you with networking and capability, right? Everyone in the group assumes everyone that has it is pretty wealthy, they're successful, and it gives you an entree into deals. Maybe that's a motivation, right? But that's the only one I can think of that really makes any kind of logical sense, is that you're utilizing that ownership because you're connected now in the community and they have all these get-togethers and events and networking capabilities. Maybe that's what the guy's holding on to. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, to me, how many of those punk type things are out there? I mean, I think this falls under the more you got lucky than anything else. So
take the fucking money.
Yeah. So your decision to buy or sell at this point shouldn't be influenced by your past activity because you just got fucking lucky. And so now don't blow the luck by losing the money. Take the money.
Exactly.
Or take half of it or whatever. But
anyway.
Yeah. So, but that's just sound, having been there in the past, where you go all in and get nothing. It's not a fun feeling.
No.
So
it's unpleasant.
Always make sure you got some stack left. And turning nothing into $452,000. Yeah, you sell it.
Now, I have to, open book here, because I could have sold some Doki at some really high prices and did not. So
I sold some at the higher prices.
Well, I sold some, but not what I should have.
Right. I didn't dump.
Yeah.
And I did acquire more on the way down and more at the bottom. So I'm still way up.
Yeah.
But I guess I would have been more up if I had sold it all. But then I don't know how many I would have had. I would have come down and bought more. So so it's always hard to know. And it's also, think of it in different ways. Like I never thought of really, Doki was not really a trading one for me. It was more of a, not a long-term hold, but sort of.
Yeah.
I wasn't dumping it if it was up 20%. Let's put it that way. Because I was going for the bigger play downstream.
What do you see on my shared screen?
I just saw nothing now, but I saw the picture of the. I thought it was an article of some kind.
Okay, for some reason it's not shifting. Oh my god, man, I'm losing my mind here with this fucking.
Wait, are they naked? I can't quite tell.
You're such an asshole. Okay, so here's the tweet. Now this gets better. This gets better because I didn't notice this yesterday.
Okay, yeah. All right.
Turned down $452,000 offer on one of my apes. Now it's just fucking stupid. Now it's fucking stupid. Now it's just fucking. He's an idiot. He's a dumbass. I'm sorry. You got more than one. You got more than one fucking Bored Ape. You're living on $2,200 a month and a $10 bottle of red wine
per day.
You got more than one fucking ape, and you don't sell one for $452,000. You don't take the profit.
Well, you're holding off for that rose, man. That's what the rest of the show cast is thinking. I want my rose. You ain't getting shit. You just got dumped. Get out of here. So look, if you hang around and watch Bachelor and drinking a $10 bottle of screw top red wine and, wife and dog and apartment costs you $2,200 a month.
Yeah.
Who knows a wife that costs $2,200 a month?
Well, I made that comment. I wish my wife and dog were only $2,200 a month.
That's like the electric G-Wagon payment, man.
Yeah.
Sell one, dude. Dank Cold Turkey, is that his name? Well,
yeah, Dank Cold Turkey,
dude. Sell one, get a new name too. Dank Cold Turkey. So nasty.
So I tweeted last night that I had to explain to I'm actually found a spot where I'm cooler than my kids. Neither of them knew what NGMI, WGMI are going to make. WGMI stood for. So I was on the top of the cool pile last night. And if you don't know, Joe, it means not going to make it. And we're going to make it. But my kids.
Oh, NGMI. Yeah.
My kids had no clue. See, you're not cool either. It's all right.
I know NGI, but that's not even an acronym that enters my.
It's a
mind
crypto.
space.
Oh, look! Did you see the merch? Did I already show you the merch? There's the merch my wife made.
No, you showed me a picture of it though.
Got the DeFi lunch shirt going. We're gonna have to. Oh, and one of our listeners reached out. They've got. Somebody brought up a good point. They don't want to share with the tax man. If you could borrow against that ape, I'd be okay with holding it, as long as you can't get it liquidated. Mr. YM80 said, don't want to share with the tax man. Yeah, well, that's a good point. Anyway, one of our listeners reached out. They own a merch company.
Ooh.
And said they can get us some deals on merch. So this is my regular rant. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but
before we change subjects real quick, how much did your wife pay for that piece of merchandise?
I don't know. I think she said like $18, something like that.
Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah. No, it was a one-off, So
exactly, it's a 1-1.
Yeah.
So you got to put that in the gacha machine.
I'm gonna put this on the gacha machine. Nobody else can have the NFT. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I did tell Ray that we would launch a machine for DeFi lunch. So we're gonna have to come up with something. So just for shits and giggles.
Yeah, what will we ever take pictures of in auction?
Well, what we're going to do is NFTs that give everyone that gets rare and above a free 2-hour session with you drinking a $10 bottle of wine with your dog.
Oh, there you go.
All right, that's what we're doing, and you're going to give them your Bored Ape.
Me?
Yeah, dude, I'm not giving them anything.
Yeah,
it's on you. Okay,
top of my list, very top of my list.
Speaking of our community, dude, $117,000 committed to the Forked Club.
Nice,
just fucking insane. Over 30 people. It's brilliant. It's beautiful, and everyone that's waiting. Oh, little ad popped up. Everybody that's waiting, please know that I did speak to our attorney. She's getting the club document out. She had COVID in the house and was sick herself. And so we're almost there. I posted in the Discord. Anybody else that just wants to join the Mission DeFi Lunch Discord, let me know. I'll post a tweet with it again. But you're welcome. We got a few conversations going on in the DGen channel and some other stuff going on. And then anybody that's wanting to get involved in the Forked Fund, fill out the Google form. I'll post that as well. And or DM me, B05 Crypto on Twitter and Telegram, B05 Crypto, #2143 on Discord. I will be happy to send you the links. And once you fill out the form, we'll add you to the Forked Club channels, the little private secret channels that are in our Discord server, where you get to hear all of Joe's amazing investment wisdom. So he will be dispensing lots of financial advice all day long in the Discord server. So
yeah, I didn't realize that. It sounds like a swingers club server from like the 60s. Yeah,
Forked.
We're forked.
and
Fork this.
Only you and this pair of us are old enough to know about the swingers clubs in the 1970s.
That's right. Yeah. Read about them a lot. What was that? Penthouse Forum. That's right.
Yeah, Penthouse Forum. Oh my God. Remember those stories?
Oh, I never thought these were true until my neighbor's college cheerleading squad moved in next door. And my wife said, yeah, you can go play with them, honey. That's perfectly fine. That's when I kind of realized, it was a dream. It wasn't true.
Those were like the precursors to the fucking bad like Facebook content and shit. Like those are like perfect. I saw one the other day. Some dude who's like a YouTube influencer for pilots. All these people, he posted a video of himself crashing his plane, parachuting out of his plane and crashing because he had an engine failure over the mountains. And all of these expert pilots are like analyzing the video and saying that he basically just crashed the plane on purpose, that he wanted to have a high view video of himself jumping out of his plane and crashing it. It's actually a pretty gripping video, but when they start making the arguments, it's crazy. But I mean, it's crazy what people will do for attention. Like, doing a podcast every fucking day at lunchtime and talking shit about financial stuff.
Yeah, just, a couple of 39-year-olds kicking it. Gassing up the jet, heading off to Vegas.
Tether freezes $1 million worth of USDT belonging to a single address.
Yeah, what's the deal on this?
Well, this is the normal fucking rant I do about USDT and USDC. We got to get off the fucking drugs because this is our regulatory backdoor right here. They can freeze any wallet they want. Now, they may be freezing this wallet so that somebody that lost money in a hack can get their money back, which is a wonderful thing. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for that, but that's also the way that they can shut down fucking DeFi. When USDC and USDT are the primary stable coins driving DeFi, this is the shit that the regulators go, oh, yeah, that's all we got to do, right? Shut down a project wallet, any of the DeFi protocols, and we're all done. Everything tanks. We're all fucked.
I think they just got to go down to the Bahamas somewhere and, hitch up US dollar tether, coin up the 2 trailers up to another truck and haul it off, man.
Exactly.
That $65 billion just goes poof.
Gone. Look, this is the big fucking, I don't understand. Like all these people creating DeFi projects and all are dependent on USDC or USDT, primarily USDC. They both have the ability to lock up wallets like this. All it takes is the regulator saying, we don't like this DeFi protocol and we don't know who the people are, so we're going to lock it up.
What about DAI? What's been going on with DAI lately?
I haven't paid any attention to DAI. I don't know. But let's talk about Curve, dude. The Curve,
let's do it, man.
Dude, Curve, CVX, the convex
Curve
wars, the Curve wars. It's like fucking insane. I've been trying for the last few days to dive into this and understand what the fuck's going on. Do you understand what the fuck's going on?
Well, I understood what was going on a little bit like months ago with
you've been talking about Curve for months.
Yeah, well, no, because I bought some when it was about 90 cents a piece, and I was looking at a lot of the ratios. But then there was some other information that came out, which was like there's another ratio that didn't look so good to me that I saw recently. But I can't remember, like people are taking the stake, like you take the stake tokens, like, and say the Geist world would be the G tokens, or the Ohm world would be like the G Ohm, I think is their token. And then you're staking that somewhere else into another liquidity pool, and then taking that token and staking it somewhere else. There's some super complicated stuff going on there. And so what the convex thing is, it's between Yearn, Convex, and I think it's Aave is the third one. And they're all fighting over the governance tokens for Curve.
Right. The whole idea is you get the control of the emissions, right? When you have the voting power.
Yeah.
And so every major project wants control of it. So they get the emissions. So everybody's buying up Convex, and then that gives them voting power in Curve. and I'm going to study this more. I've got a bunch of tabs open to study a bunch of this shit. But this project is really interesting. This is Redacted Cartel. This is a official sub DAO of Olympus. Olympus owns 10% of this. From what I understand, that's what I've read. It is, and Jaws confirmed that it is an official sub DAO, paying 172% right now. It is a Olympus fork, and it is engaged in buying up shitloads of Convex and Curve or whatever. I again don't understand enough, but I'm going to ape into this anyway.
Is this the butterfly one?
Yep,
BTR?
redacted. Yeah, the token is BTRFLY. BTRFLY. But I'm going to ape into this one because I don't think this whole Curve thing is going to look. The whole thing is based on stablecoin and liquidities, right? And owning it. And the more of it you own, the more you are in control of your destiny. And that's the whole idea. I'm going to take a much deeper dive into understanding the technicalities of it. But I will tell you this. There's some really fucking smart people in our community that have a better understanding of this than you and I do. And they're in our Discord server talking all about this. So Zeros, who's been helping us with smart contracts for voting for the Forked Club, he's got a lot more expertise on this than I do. So I would encourage anybody that wants to learn more about this, jump into the Discord. That's where I'm going to put what I learn. And a bunch of people in the community are starting to weigh in on this as well. In the meantime, this is not financial advice. You shouldn't do what I do. But I'm going to ape in on Redacted. So
it looks good. I mean, the price is all right.
Yeah, it's hanging out. Where is it today? It's been running like 27 up to 32, I think.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm just trying to see if I can. Trying to get a little more distance because it's only been out for like 14 days. Oh, wait.
Yeah, it's new.
There we go.
Essentially, this gives you a staked yield earning play in the Curve Wars indirectly. Beyond that, I need to know more before I talk about it too much.
Yeah, we'll dig into this one later on today.
Yeah, so if you look at their docs, they have some really good it actually gives you confidence because they're very open about their strategy, what they're trying to do, everything. And the fact that they took the time to write all this up, right, and explain it and provide the analysis of it makes me even more confident in the protocol for myself personally, but that is not for you to decide. But really, they've impressively documented out how they're doing it, why they're doing it, what it means, etc. So encourage everyone to go to, what's their main site? Redacted Cartel. Is it Redacted Cartel? Hold on.
It is redactedcartel.xyz.
Okay, I encourage everyone to go there, do your own research, and check out the docs. But like I said, we're discussing it in the Discord server. If you want that server address, DM me B05Crypto, or I will tweet about it shortly with the Discord link right after this show, and you can get it from there. And if you're interested in the Forked Club, where we also discuss more details on this, because this is probably one of the projects that'll end up in the Forked Club, you can DM me and I'll send you the form to fill out to express your commitment and interest. And then you can join the secret Forked Club channels, the He-Man Bored Ape Haters Club channels.
Yeah.
Joe, sometimes I shake shit and you look at me like, is he really gonna say that? Is he really just gonna say stupid shit like that?
No, I always well, I have you on the laptop screen.
Yeah, I do.
So you're like about an inch by inch square. So I'm usually focusing in on just to see what you're doing over there.
Because it looks like you're like, oh fuck, what's he gonna say now? Oh shit.
No, I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah, all right, good.
What was I looking for? Something?
Curve Wars.
No, we'll have some better stuff up for this tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because there's lots of money, new money flowing into the the metaverse stuff, the digital land plays.
Yeah.
That's all accelerating too. So, like you said, somebody puts that together with NFTs and yield farming off NFTs in a digital metaverse, which is gonna come for sure.
Yeah.
Once that hits, that whole space is gonna blow up.
Yeah.
In my mind. But everything else, look, the order books all look okay. For everything. I don't see anything outlandishly crazy in any of these, Binance stuff. It all looks all right to me.
Yeah,
I
good.
don't see anything. I think we're just going to go sideways a little bit so everybody figures out what we're going to do next.
Yeah, I agree.
But, it's the end of the holidays. Everybody's still sorting out what's going on in general.
Well, look, I think we're going to have some business shutdowns. I think they're already happening. I think supply chain's probably going to get a little worse because people are staying home with COVID. So I think we're going to see a little bit of impact from that over the next couple of months because I think that there's so many people going out sick. But it's not lasting a long time. So hopefully, like you said, we're going to run our course here and we'll have some natural immunity from it as well, along with the vaccinations. So, but I do think there may be a little bit of business impact, but it feels like it's like almost priced in already. It's weird.
Yeah, I don't feel any sense of pending doom or anything. I just feel like, I think, when I always look at something like, say, this Omicron, these other variants, until people are really dropping dead in the streets, I think it's going to take a lot to really, really shake people up.
Remember those fake Chinese people that were dying down in the streets when it first broke? Remember the videos that came out of these people just dying in the street? And it's like, and now everybody looks back and is like, oh yeah, we got conned, man. And I'm not me, Joe. I'm definitely not a conspiracy theory guy, but it was like, okay, looking back, we don't know of any other people that were just dying spontaneously in the street from COVID.
No, I haven't seen anybody dying in the streets. I see a lot of people dying on TV, and see a lot of people.
Of course, once they're in the hospital, but there's not spontaneous death happening. Yeah. Oh, here was some news, real quick before we break away here. CFTC went after Poly Market. Only a $1.2 million fine, but here's a company incorporated in Delaware doing business as Poly Market and based in New York City. Nah, there's no chance they're going to come for your shit, dude. This is all derivative stuff that the FTC tries to govern, but it's like every one of these enforcements is, another drip of talent leaving the United States of America because nobody wants to deal with this shit. Like it's so frustrating because they're not going to, and there's a couple of this, Collins Belton at Collins_Belton is an attorney. He did a really cool analysis of this ruling of this deal. They basically agreed not to plead guilty and pay a fine, blah, blah. It's a bribe, but
settlement.
But this Collins Belton did a really good analysis of some of the language, and some of the things that he was positive about in it were that they specifically mentioned that that the company owning the front end, the company owning the website, is what put them in liability, right? So had they decentralized and done what Liquidity does, with Liquidity, there is no front end to Liquidity that Liquidity owns. It's their partners all popping up Liquidity front ends. But had they done something similar to that, put the web interface on decentralized methodologies, that they probably wouldn't have gotten slapped by the CFTC. So that is heartening to me. And he talks about the fact that he thinks the CFTC is going to try to land grab more of the regulatory enforcement around DeFi. And if they do, it's probably a much better thing than Gary fucking Gensler having regulatory oversight.
Yeah, no, because remember there was a quote we talked about it not too long ago, but it was actually from August, and it was whoever the head of the CFTC was back then going, well, there's no way Ethereum could be a security because we don't list securities on the CFTC. You're like, oh, really? Okay, I got to remember that one. That's a good logic. Oh,
can I coach it?
There's no way I was having an affair with her because I don't cheat on women. It's like, whatever, dude. Okay,
cool. We're going with that.
Yeah. So
we're all in on that.
So there is that regulatory thing going on.
Yeah.
And I agree that, it has to sort out what is what. Everything from, the gold plays to, the Dow level plays, NYSE, NASDAQ, over the counter, pink sheets, all that shit. It's got to sort it all out.
Yeah.
Because putting it all in one basket right now isn't fair to anybody.
He says, I'm cautiously optimistic that the CFTC continues to lead as the agency most willing to engage with nuanced arguments for DeFi. For instance, one potentially huge implication is their allusion to AMMs as algorithmic functionality rather than a platform or exchange. He said this is potentially significant because it may portend some accommodation at the CFTC of arguments that not all AMMs should be treated as exchanges or platforms and shouldn't need to register as a licensed market like a swap execution facility or a designated contract market. So that's good. And then he talks about the front end. So another potential win is a seemingly subtle nod. But here's the thing. We're still trying to figure out what the fuck people can and can't do, right? Because nobody is willing to put it on the table because they want the honeypot. They want to be able to go after as many regulatory enforcements as they can because that's how their incentives align.
Right.
I'm comforted to see that at least the CFTC is starting to use language that may embrace some decentralized capabilities for protocols. That's exciting. But I think in the meantime, what happens is talent in the US says, or people that were considering coming to the US to start their, Web3 DeFi are not going to do it. Why would you come and open yourself up to this? And the other thing they'll do is if they are a corporation in another country, they'll block US users, right? I mean, we know how to get around that obviously, but they will block US users because why piss off the SEC or the CFTC who can long arm come after you when you might as well just block Americans and then you don't have to worry about it. So anyway, I'm worried about talent. I'm worried about the US screwing this opportunity up. And so I hope that we get some clarity soon.
Yeah, I think we will eventually.
I hope so. Yeah, all of us in jail.
Yeah, well, they can't really do that. Be locking up half the country. And so unless you're out like stealing billions of dollars from super rich people or you're stealing hundreds of dollars from super poor people, you're probably okay. I think I don't think that
is not legal advice.
No,
not your attorney.
No, not at all. But I think that in the middle of it is all the caveat emptor.
Exactly.
Stuff. So
look, at the end of the day, it just slows down innovation and it's just annoying. And I get it. Look, these are entrenched regulatory agencies. They have a mission. They have incentives aligned with getting as many people as they can. They think they're protecting people. They aren't. And, at the end of the day, that's what we have to deal with. But
what was that movie with Daniel Day-Lewis? Like There Will Be Blood, maybe, or something like that, where he's the oil dude?
Didn't see it.
The arguments that you make on the show a lot, you would definitely like this show.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just the whole funny part is, like who they put in charge of the SEC, Whiskey Joe Kennedy, basically.
Yeah.
You got to put the guy in charge of it who knows how to, game the whole system.
Yeah, put the fox in the hen house.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the same thing kind of goes on with the oil regulation and, I think it's There Will Be Blood or just Daniel Day-Lewis and oil and you'll get it.
I'm going to check it out. Yeah.
But definitely worth watching.
Cool.
But just the savageness that goes on in these markets. And so it's always, people always want to say, oh, I want to protect the less protectable, I guess. But at the same time, you find out who's usually protecting the markets overall are the people that are also controlling the markets.
Yep.
So is it then to protect their market position? Are they protect themselves? Are they protecting the little person? Probably more of themselves than the little person. But
the little person can't get protected until after he's been screwed.
Got to get that lawyer money.
That's the problem. They can't prevent. They can't prevent. They're not a preventative enforcement bureau. They're after the fact. Let me clean up the mess.
Yeah, and that's why you want to have that lawyer money at that point, because then they're going to go, oops, he's got lawyer money. Who's next on the list?
Well, and that's
she does it. All right, let's get her.
That's the other thing we talk about. Yeah. Like how many attorneys they have at the SEC. Bury them in lawsuits and then have a DAO that's recruiting them for all of them out of the SEC. That's my goal. I want a DAO that takes them on legally as a legal defense fund against for any project and proactively sues the SEC and then recruits every attorney in the SEC for like $500,000 a year jobs into the legal fund. So then you just decimate their legal resources. Like you just
It's interesting.
Destroy them. Because first of all, 50 lawsuits against them, they don't have enough attorneys to fight that anyway, right? They don't have the resources to fight that. So you build it up there, and at the same time, you start recruiting all the experience out of the agency for big, big money. Shut them down. Just shut them the fuck down. That's what I want a DAO to do.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the one thing about the government is they tend to have a lot of different agencies there. They can do different things.
Sure. So just do the same thing to the next one, right? I mean, look, at the end of the day, there's a lot more money on this side than there is on that side.
Yeah, but that side's got the guns.
Yeah, but the guns don't go out from the feds until the prosecutors
to the very end.
And if the prosecutors are all working for the DAOs, then where are they going to get them? I mean, they're going to have a bunch of 20-year-olds out of or 23-year-olds out of law school all working at the SEC. That's the goal. Have a bunch of them that don't have a fucking clue. When
everybody else will have left, 30 days before that.
Exactly.
All right, buddy.
Hey, man, great one. Let's touch base on the fund. Everybody, thank you for listening. And when I say fund, that's not forked. It's a separate thing that we'll be talking about in the coming weeks. But Forked Club, B05 Crypto on Telegram and Twitter, B05 Crypto, pound 2143 if you would like to partake in our amazing forked community. We're Forked Club. In the meantime, look for a tweet from me today with the Discord server. You guys are all welcome. We have great discussions starting up, just getting started. The server's just launched, so not a lot happening there yet, but enough for you guys to jump in and take over the whole community if you want to. So please join us on Discord, and thank you so much for listening. Thank you for telling your friends and your family about us. Please tweet if you see or hear something you like. We appreciate you sharing and spreading the word. Joe, have a lovely afternoon.
You too. I'll call you later on this afternoon.
Sounds good, buddy. Have a great one. Thank you, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
See you tomorrow. Cheers. Bye.